You can look around, and chances are you can spend years in this business and never see another one of these. This is a 2000 Winnebago Rialta on a Volkswagen chassis. Kind of a Class B plus. Interesting full conversion. Really fun, really neat type critter. If you're looking to do a lot of traveling, a lot of touring, you don't like the idea of hotels, maybe you want to do some off-grid camping, something like this might work for you. Odd as she may be, also looks to be pretty well kept. Generator runs like a champ, 50,000 miles. And one thing I want to just offer right up front, I really pride the work that we do here on, you know, fair information and transparency. So it is only fair to advise you folks, I do not have proper training on a specialty piece like this that is no longer in production. I'm basically going to share with you what I can see. I encourage you, because you will have questions, I'm sure, write them down. Call our guys. Give us some time to, because we're probably going to have to do some research on specific questions that specific units like this specifically generate. We'll get them answered. And when you're comfortable, let's make it happen. But until then, let's start going through it and seeing what she has to offer. So the first thing to note, this is not super duper extra tall. This is not a 7-foot tall Class C, Class A motorhome. This is a road-friendly, anti-headwind, you know, easy driver by design. So if you're moving through it like I am, kind of like if you were in an old van and you wanted to walk from the front to the back, you'd kind of have to duck a little bit. That's just one of those things you have to accept on a coach like this. But that's also what makes this thing drive like a dream, with zero headroom or overhead clearance issues really ever. Now, we do have that classic Winnebago vaulted ceiling in here, and you can see that just epic, monstrous skylight above us. And with no lights on inside. I have no power running the coach currently. It is nice, light, bright, comfortable in here. Everything is very clean. Everything looks very nice. Now, your decor might be dated a little bit, but the fact is, there's nothing wrong with anything that I can see really here. That chair can, kind of like a, you know, a bigger motorhome, can kind of spin around to, you know, face a couple different directions. You see there is a seatbelt in that chair. With our handy little, like, utility flip-out side stand right here. To, you know, really maximize our use and function space. And that's the thing in these little coaches. Everything does more than one thing. Quick little pass through on the front cab here. Nothing terribly interesting to write home about, although I was pleasantly surprised with a guy with my long legs how much legroom I did have in here. That was an enjoyable experience. Now we've got our dash air and heat, but we've also got roof air and heat. So that's kind of what this is here to help, you know, pump everything through. Let me back up a little bit. I'm going to have to do some backtracking through her. Now, our, you know, not the biggest coach in the world, so not the biggest kitchen in the world, but it'll get you through. And that's what's kind of nice about this. It does everything it needs to, nothing it doesn't. Where you would lose prep space from the stove and the sink, they have covers to regain that prep space. So once again, everything in here does two things, really. If you do flip up the sink, look at this, they even have like the original information sheet on this thing. That's pretty impressive on something like this. You know, stainless and whatnot. Now, you might notice there's a little bit of storage debris, if you will. Just little, whenever you have something in storage long term, it seems to collect little, you know, piles of dust that need dusted off. I am filming this before we have completed a full cleaning on this RV. This is here on consignment, but the folks said, can you clean it up for us? And we said, yeah, absolutely. But with all the new RVs that we sell, our cleaner, like we've got a full-time cleaning bay with 3 staff members just doing that. And they're so booked up, it's going to be about a week. And I'm like, I don't want a cool piece like this sitting here a week without people knowing about it. I want folks seeing this. So understand, it'll be even cleaner when you come to see it. We're going to end with the bathroom because it does some very different, interesting things, but it kind of takes 2 hands, and I've only got 1 right now. So we'll come back to the bathroom. And someone is just messaging me like crazy here. Now, for privacy's sake, you'll see like we've got the nice roller shades, and everything appears to be in pretty nice working order here. Again, I don't see anything that really concerns me with anything. Gas and electric fridge. It does have a freezer pocket with some drawers below. They never wasted an ounce of anything in here. Anywhere they could, they put flat space for use, function, organizing. You see the TV hookups right behind that. That was obviously intended to be your entertainment stand, should you add one. This was made obviously before we felt we had to have 40-inch flat screens in a pop-up tent camper, as it seems to be the case today. So we don't have a full-time bed. Instead, what we have here, the rear dining arrangement can really, this is the multi-purpose Transformer Optimus Prime function of the camper right here. It can sit as a dining arrangement or an open lounge as we have now. The dining table for it stores actually right in that rear cabinet. You can see this little flip-up job, which is, you know, technical term. That's the Winnebago flip-up job right there. Anyway. You get the idea. So the table self-stores, and then you can fold both sides of this down to be a bed. Now, there's a lot of folks who just, they're not going to use this thing for like sitting in and dining in. You know, they're going to be outside at the picnic table most of the time. Well, you could easily just leave this in bed format and probably just throw a mattress down on top of it if you felt like it. So you could kind of do whatever you wanted back here. All of our windows are going to have shades for privacy. All the windows, the side windows here open for ventilation, and they are triple jalousie windows. So you have tilt open window panes. Great rainy day airflow on this. So right next to all that, as we're coming over to the bathroom, pretty decent closet in here. This is one of the things they did well. You don't have a massive RV, so you don't have room for massive closets, but they did the best they could with what they had. A couple little, like, reflective window covers for privacy and to keep the heat out. Now, this is a little bit different. You know, for general daytime use, you've got a little simple closet toilet setup here, and it's pretty minimalist, and if you're just alone, you could probably just open the door and use it, and obviously have some window shades drawn for privacy. But you see, you've got a couple cabinets up here, you've got the bigger Max Air vent fan, but you see how that fan's like half in and half out? Well, what this does is kind of twofold. It's actually very simple. If you do need a little more space, you can actually just pull this right out. Now, you see that button and that button. What this is intended for is you have a hand on each one, push that button to unlock it and pull. I've already pre-unlocked it. Ooh, I might need two hands to pull it here. Hold on. Yeah, there we go. I sabotaged myself. There you go. So the whole thing actually comes out to us, and voila, it creates a more functional bathroom closet. Now, the folks never used this as a shower, ever. If you wanted to, what you do is you actually flip this down, you unsnap the sink, and if I'm doing this with one hand, again, it's not very difficult, and then you would actually hook the sink up to the shower head, and you can see that the folks have the paper towel holder roll up there. They never used it as a shower, so they would use this as a bathroom if they needed to. Then you just kind of fold it away and push it away when you're done. And it does lock open just like it locks closed, so it is pretty secure. You don't have to worry about being in here and somebody leaning on it and crushing you. You know, none of that kind of concern. So it's very different, very multi-purpose, not for everybody, but for that person who's really trying to get like way off the grid, or they're just more comfortable driving than towing something, this might be a pretty solid option for you. So on the exterior here, we've got like a full fiberglass candy-coated shell. None of the original like van stuff is really present except for right up in the nose here. As soon as you get past the nose, everything becomes fiberglass. Now, this is made with very, like, what we would call today Euro styling, whereas it is very small, minimalist, and you can see the body actually curves inward and upward a little bit. That helps with both stability and, again, dealing with those headwinds, because this thing tends to kind of be a little bit more like a bullet cruising through here. Tires look surprisingly good. The exterior looks good. It's got a great sheen and shine to it. I don't see crazy oxidation and fading or anything like that. This is, I mean, they are, evidently we're looking for a hubcap. When the folks were coming back from Florida or Texas or wherever they were from, I guess they lost the hubcap and didn't realize it till they got here. So that's something that we're working on locating for them. Don't know the status of that at the time of this filming. Up top, you can see that bathroom Max Air vent fan has the matching big cover, and you can see the, like a full-size but low-profile air conditioner up there for good cooling. Like I said, skin on this is just terribly impressive, given the age of it and whatnot. I mean, but that's kind of the cool thing here. This is not really even as tall as a lot of modern pickup trucks. This is an easy one to store in a garage, so it's very easy to take care of it. Generator down here, Awning generator, like I said, we played with it, fired right up. has 50 hours on it. They kept up on their preventative maintenance. And you notice on the right side next to the generator, we've also got a handy little like sewer hose holder, just so, because cargo on this thing is exceptionally limited. You have to be very smart and intelligent with how you have all that placed. And you know, Winnebago's been doing motorhomes so long that a lot of people, they'll come in, and when people will still ask today, they'll come in and ask for a motorhome. But they say, I'm looking, do you guys have the Winnebagos? And they actually just mean motorhome, kind of like Kleenex. It's one of those things where the brand name has become the name of the product to an extent. So your primary majority of your outside storage is going to be located in this rear trunk, if you will. You know, very simple, just kind of key locks in place if you need to. Looks like you got some washer fluid back here for it. We got a hitch on the back. I don't know what this thing is rated for towing. Maybe one of our guys can start crunching some numbers and give you a good barometer there. This is not a big, heavy-duty thing designed for towing. My best guess on that rear area there, if you're going to put anything behind it, be a very small little trailer, or a, like, you know, bike rack and stuff like that. The awning is one of the more like armless varieties, which is very handy for something of a Euro body shape like this, especially when this was built. There were not bendy arm awnings, if you will. I don't know the technical term for it, just because it's one of those things that never really was a major thing in the industry. But the fact is, you got what awning space they could put on it. So it's small by design, kind of quirky, kind of neat. I don't know, it's a little different if it's something where it was just one person or the two of you and you're like, hey, let's just leave. Let's just go somewhere and let's see where we end up. This looks like just an extremely fun little adventurer. This would be the kind of thing where you bring a camera, you hit the motorhome here, you go out somewhere and wherever you land, you eat at the local eatery, you build some memories, you take some pictures. And then one day your grandkids are looking through like a photo album and, you know, they're like, hey, Grandpa, Grandma, what is that? And you get to tell them how cool and young you were and how you ran around and had all these fun adventures. I don't know. Just kind of that's the feel, that's the vibe I get from one of these things. I really think this is kind of fun. Anyway, I'm just waxing, you know, poetically over here for no apparent reason now. Anyway, give us a call, 800-256-5196, Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. Understand something like this might be a little glitchy to finance. That is one of those things that, because there aren't so many of these out there, because of its age, because of its type, financing on these can be a little finicky. So work with us a little bit, and we've got a great finance team here who can get things done. Just understand it's not like, don't come in on a Tuesday at noon and expect to leave Tuesday at 1:30 on a unit like this. We need a little more time to put her together. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.